Welcome in to a very important video by Dutton Ranch. Alright guys, so I've been here a long time. I don't know how many seasons. It's been a long time. When I started out, it was very difficult. It took time. It took, a lot of time to learn how to play on digital downs. So I'm going to give you something that nobody's ever given you. And I'm going to give you my recipes, my thoughts, the way I play, what I do, what I did, and everything you need to be successful on digital downs. So in the early days, I didn't know what I was doing. And give me a second. In the early days, I didn't know what, I knew what I was doing, but I really didn't know what I was doing. For some reason, I was always pretty good at breeding, so that really didn't affect, but racing was a whole different level. I have a lot of problems with the ads and equipment, and choosing the right instructions, and even choosing the right jockey, okay? So, I want to hit on all this stuff with you today. I'll go through what I did. So for a few seasons, I was only breeding 50 horses. That was my maximum. So it was $500 worth of horses. I don't use the sales ring. Okay, I don't claim horses from auction, and if I do, I only claim breeders. From races. I've claimed horses from races before, but I don't really look into that, as I just like to focus on my own stable. But breeders, I will look at and I will claim. But when you get to a point where I'm at, like, I already have a winning stable, so getting other people's breeders, it has to be, ones that are really want, and the people that have them don't put them out for claimers. They rarely put them out for public breeds, and they rarely put them out to buy. So, that's one thing I do. So I start with like 50 horses. I breed 50 horses. It's $500, right? I always have bonus credits, and you should have bonus credits too. So it's like $500. And then you figure you're going to need at least $5 a horse to enter them into the eliminator. Any horse that can go a mile goes in the eliminator, right? So the horses go in the eliminator. Some can't, of course, because they might be longs, or they might be routers, or they might just be 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7. It might be just, sprinters. So I don't put them in there, but most of the horses go in there. So if I breed 50, I probably have 35, 40 going in the eliminator, somewhere around there. So that's how I do it. So you would need like, at least 50 horses. You want about $5 a race, right? So you'll want about, $250 in excess funds. So about $750 total dollars. What I also like to do to narrow that down is, what I like to do is get vouchers. So what you do is, as you can see, I have a ton of vouchers. So I store these all season long. So every time a horse wins, or I have extra money, after all my horses are entered in races, if I have extra money, I'll buy breed vouchers. How do I buy breed vouchers? Well, it's simple. So go here and hit send vouchers, right? type in your stable name. Mine is Dutton Ranch. Click how many breed vouchers you want and hit confirm send vouchers. So I send vouchers to myself. I'm literally sending breed vouchers to myself. The other reason that I don't want to review races. I only have one horse go. So the other reason that I send vouchers to myself is because that's the only way to kind of, make sure that, you're in good shape. So I do that. I think I just sold a horse that just raced. I think I did. Did he win? He did terrible. All right, so that being said, so let's go through this. I'm going to fully go through this so everybody knows what the hell I'm talking about. All right, so this is a lot in this video, man, but this is what you need to be a winner. So what you want to pay attention to is bloodline and pedigree when breeding. That's the most important thing. Confirms are important, but you can get away with, you can get away sometimes with average confirms and stuff, okay? I like logs. I like all horses, but I like logs and I like true sprinters more than anything else. The reason I like true sprinters is because there's not many out there, right? So when you breed them, you're in good shape. What I tend to do is right now would be the time, if I didn't have or know my breeders that are highly likely to be successful, I would go ahead and breed a couple horses. This is just to find my breeders, right? So I know I'm breeding right now. There's my calendar. Okay, so May 1st is Friday. I'm going to breed all Thursday. Soon as I wake up in the morning, I'll start breeding. I breed every season on this day. Every season on the last day of the month. Okay? That's the way I've done it. That's the way I do it. Yes, I do breed some the last 2 weeks. But this is to find the breeders that I'm going to breed on that day. I make a list of the ones that I already know, right? So I have a list of the horses that I already know I'm going to breed. But, I want to optimize and make the best breeders, have the best breeders that I can. So what I do is, like, as of now and for the next week or two or whatever, I'm checking my breeders, right? Because I'm lining up for this season. So I need to go to my breeding stock, not there. All right, come on. All right, view breeding stock. Okay, so here's breeders that have not been used, right? So let me find some. Okay, so Aztec Warrior has no breeds, right? Bud has no breeds, right? All right, Bud has no breeds. I know by looking at Marky Mark, this is probably going to produce a sprinter or a miler, right? So that has no breeds. Spectacular Ride has no breeds. I think that's actually a long. Spectacular Ride a long. All right, so Spectacular Ride. Where is he at? Come on, dude. This is slow because I got OBS up. All right, so there's Spectacular Ride. I just want to see something. No, he's not a log. Okay, I thought he was a log for some reason. I don't know why. All right, so there's spectacular ride and tremendous play, all right? Um, so what I do is like, here's tremendous player. Now I know my bloodlines and pedigree is pretty good, and you will too. You know, you know when you see the names. So I got good cod furbs. I know what pedigree I got here. I've got 7 5 sisters Neutrello. So I'll look at a tremendous player. We got epicenter and stuff. Okay, so I'll take tremendous player who has no breeds. Okay, and I'll look down here and I'll find a horse with no breeds too. So that's not going to work because that's a sprinter, straight sprinter. So I can't have Neutrello and 7 5 sisters in the mix. So I need to choose a horse because I don't feel like crossbreeding. So this horse would be a candidate, right? Yeah, this horse would be a candidate, right? So the only issue I have is the good. It doesn't mean it can't produce a hell of a foal, but I'd rather see something better than good because the other one was good, right? So I need to find a different mare. That isn't, C7 Neutrello. I can't do that one. Fast Nasty, Dutton Tremendous. I know that's not going to work. Freaky Fast, Lady America. This is probably, Lady America is probably Man of War. If I had to guess. Yeah, see, there's Man of War. Okay, so this horse is perfect. So I'll do, you got to watch this because you see this medium high. You can't, medium high is a sprinter, right? So you don't want to you don't want to do like, you want to kind of keep medium high with short, you know what I mean? And I don't think Tremendous Player was, medium long, medium low. So Tremendous Player is medium long, medium low. There's a quicker way to do this. Just go up here. You breed in barn summary. The only problem is I don't think you can see how many foals it has. That's the only thing that you can't see how many foals it has. Well, I guess you could use this. So medium long, medium low, and I can't have seven sisters Neutrello. So I want to look for medium long. It doesn't have to be medium low. It can be medium or whatever. That's 7 sisters. That's okay. Well, this is Make It a World. Okay, maybe Make It a World. No, it's good. All right, so I'm looking for something to breed with Tremendous Player. That's 7 5 sisters. Can't do that one. And it has to be a mare too. So all these are, that's 7 Neutrello. That's Jewel, soy sauce. So sorry it's taking so long. I just want you guys to know how I'm thinking and what I'm doing. AKA Big Shot. Okay, as long as this horse is a mare. Okay, if this horse is medium. All right, so I think this is it. AKA Big Shot. No, it has foals. They haven't had foals. Oh, I guess they haven't won yet. So that's not going to help me. I need one without foals to make sure that this video, you guys know that I'm just like matching horses up here. I'm not just like, I just want to do this to show you that you can take horses with no breeds, and breed them. This is only taking me time because I got to look for a mare with no breeds, with no 7 sisters of Neutrello. And most of these All right, so truly proud. Here we go. See, it's good, medium, high. Well, I don't really. Yeah, I think all my horses that have them bred are in here. Little O Sister, that's Man of War. I think this will be a good one. Okay, let's use this one. So I'm going to take Little O Sister and the other one and breed it, right? There's Little O Sister. Where is she at? Kentucky. All right, now you also got to look at this stuff, okay? These are all Kentucky, so there's no switch. So this horse, no matter what, is Kentucky. It will not change. It will stay in Kentucky. All right, so now I'll breed a horse, and this is what I'm just checking to see if this is a match. You know, so I could set up for when I'm going to breed. Kentucky. Little O Sister. There she is. And then where's Tremendous Playa? Right there. So as you can see, these horses have, they have no breeds whatsoever. So what I'll do is I'm going to breed this, okay, and see what happens. Okay, so this is what you want to see right here. So it's a 104 raw, right? So that's really good. So this warrants another breed. Now, to verify that, I also would go look at 141. All right, there's the one we just bred, 141. Now, also, you can buy this horse because I'm just doing this video to, to show you guys what's up. I'm going to be leaving for a season. So, I'm showing you from breed to train to race, and you'll know exactly what I'm doing here. Dirt fast, Jamont Rudder. One thing that you need to pay attention to is the jockeys, okay? I know this takes time, but if you want to be a winner and you want to win, you need to know what jockeys to select. So I do once there, right? And then I examine the horse, let the doctor look at it. 1, 2. So I know the vitamins will be in effect. You're looking from 0.5 to 0.30. That's what you're looking for of a difference. So 108.94 minus 0.5 or 0.30, right? In that range, 0.5 to 0.30. Okay, I don't need to do nothing else. 108.81. Lasix will help it. So I do this, right? Let's see what it goes down to now. Okay, 108.74, just one time. You don't have to do this a million times. Now, when you add horseshoes, you're going to want to do it 3 or 4 times, right? So you add horseshoes. This is when you want to do it like 3 times to get your true thing here, and then you'll kind of know. All right, so I know that that's pretty much it, 108.68. So either Butte or Shadow Roll is going to take me over to put me where I want to be or not put me where I want to be. The jury's out on it. Let's see if this does it. Yeah, so, okay, so you know he's Butte, right? Now, Shadow Roll, if this stays the same or goes down, Shadow Roll will stay on. Okay, so it went down, so I don't have to worry about it. Okay, now you know that's the final one. So, train it. Get where you want to be. See it keeps going down. That's probably it right there. 108.39. So 108.39. All right. I know that tongue tie is used for the stretch run, right? I'm not putting it on because this horse might not need it, right? Um, and, you know, this is very, to use or not use is, you know, you have to make sure you have the right instructions and everything. But I always test it if my horse loses. From the jump, I'm not putting tongue tie on if it doesn't need it, right? So I'll leave them on. And like I said, if Shadow Roll, it lowered it. But even if it didn't lower it, even if it kept it the same, I would have left that on, right? Because B and S, you know, that's what you want to see. So you want to do what I'm doing here. Take this. Hold on. Mother monkeys. Take this. Or don't take it. Okay, take this. Holy crap, what is going on? Man, this is really eating my computer up. All right, so take this, right? You know it's push. Put it down here, and this is how you want to do your horse, right? So you got 108.39, so you know it's 68.39 minus 45.17 equals 23.22. So this is a tweener, right? 23.22. All right, and then you hit save. So I know it's a tweener because that's not a 6 furlong push time, right? So you already know not to, with this first split right here, anything like 22, 28 and over, you're going to start at 7 furlongs, right? So I already know where to go with this horse, right? So I'll go to 7 furlongs. I never do no 6.5 furlongs, right? So I know that's right there where it's going to be. Push at 7 furlongs. All right. A mile might be stalk. Right. So this is how I do it. Okay. All right. I don't think. What is going on here? All right. Okay, yeah, I don't. So steady run, and like I said, pretty sure this is stalk. I can tell if it's stalk. I already know it's stalk, okay, because of the 23-22, right? If that's like 35 or over, it might be steady run, but I know it's not steady run, and this is going to be push. 100%. Right? So that's push. And I already know that. Not plus that first split. That first split's going to go over 47. See? And that's a mile and a quarter push time, right? So you know it's a mile and an eighth push, right? Which means might go a mile and a quarter, right? It has a 23-22, so it's right on the border there. Well, you know it's not push because of that time. You know it's not stalk because of that first split, right? Okay, so this is closer to where you want to be with this horse, right? That first split tells you. Now, I know it's steady run, and it's not going to be closed because this is going to go over 50. Right? See? So it's 100% not steady run, right? So these are the secrets that I'm telling you. This first split gives you an indication of where this horse goes. Okay? So, push. I mean, I know it's not push. It should be steady run here, but steady run or close. But I do this anyway. So, their steady run. It's not going to be steady run. It's going to be closed. Once again, that's too fast for the first split. That's a mile and a quarter split, right? So it's this. And I know it's this because if I go to relax, it's going to fly over. Now, I also am not too fond of these times here, right? Because I think I would definitely start this horse at 7 furlongs and go up. Now I can tell you right now, forget about a mile and a half. 233.99 and under is where you want to be. If it says anything over 234, you can just forget about it, right? No matter what the first split is, a mile and a half. So this horse, like I said to you, needs to be started at 7 furlongs and then race up from there. So when you go back to here, right, 105.25, so it gained 0.125. And, I mean, the confirmation's good. The pedigree's good. Everything's good. See this? I mean, this horse is ready to roll, right? And I know that I have a match here, right? So that's what you pretty much do here. I know the breeders. I know it can breed good horses. The only other thing, well, you're going to have to name it, of course. And I do this. I do not, even if I don't name it, I'll still nominate because you'll forget what you got here. So you know it's dirt. And I know that I just want to start with these three, right? I'll worry about these three later. I want to see it race at these three distances, right? So that's all I want to see. And I'll leave it for dirt. Now, it might race multi-surface, but you definitely want your first race on its preferred surface. Now, the final thing. This is a little bit difficult here. So what you want to do is, I know this takes time, and I know it's a pain in the butt. Just leave it at 6 furlongs. Like Jamont Rudder, you see that. Now, you're going to have to do this for every track. Okay, so Angel Herrera. So Brody Chambers. This will tell you what jockeys to use. So you definitely don't want Calvin Jenkins, right? So Calvin Jenkins is one you do not want, right? And you don't want this one either, CJ West, right? Because the races that all the jockeys that you want are taking, you need to know what ones you don't want, you know? So you don't want none of these. Now, what I'll do is, you only have to do this once, right? So, oops. So I make a list, okay? And I only do this once. You only have to do this once. I mean, look at that crap. You don't want Jermaine Trout on this horse. You don't want that. See, a lot of these you're not going to want. Now, you do have to do this for every track. But you only have to do it once. Right? So you only have to do this once. And I know it's a pain in the ass, but once you do this, you'll have your jockeys. You know, and this is just a case, you'll have your top jockeys, but you'll know what jockeys to use just in case the jockeys are taken. You know what I'm saying? And you got to switch jockeys. So if you go to your works history, all these will be there. So you can literally make your jockey set, right? Make your jockey set for Digital Downs, right? And you'll know. What I would do is write down who to use, right? And don't worry about the rest. So, Rivers, Powers, Plax, Light, Hudson, Rudder, and that's it. So you would write them down and then make your jockey set with Rudder, Chambers, Hudson, light, plaques, rivers, and powers. That's the jockeys you want. All right. So that's how you do that. Right. So there it is. That's how you do it. Yada yada yada. There you go. Here's the works for this horse, guys. Like I said, I'm gonna not be here. This horse is perfect for this says steady run. Also, you can't always rely on this to be right. Most of the time it is right. But there's no way this horse is steady run here. And if you want to verify it, you just go here. So 95.01 minus, 46.13 is super slow. So yeah, this is like it's gonna be slow and close at the end. And when you have a horse like that, you don't want to be, this is stalk, a mile stalk, okay? You don't want to be traffic and all that stuff. So, okay, so that's that, right? So this horse will be stalked. Now the rest of these should be right around right. When you watch your horse race, you'll know. You'll know what needs to be done, what adjustments need to be made by the way it races. Gate position plays a big key too. If you have let's say this horse gets the 4-hole, right? And it's on push. And it drops back and then drops into the hole, right? And then catches up and finishes second or third, right? Then you know that you're fine. Now, let's say this gets the 1 or 2 hole and you put it on push and it gets caught at the end. Well, the 1 or 2 hole, you might need to be on stalk. Because remember, this horse doesn't have to make up for any traffic. Okay? When you have the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hole, you got to make up for traffic somehow. And there's only 2 ways to do it. You either go to the front, or you go to the middle, or you go to the back. And I don't like going to the back. So for me, I don't like the middle. So the 1 hole would be stalk. Every other position, maybe the 2 hole. Every other position would be push. Right? That's 100% fact. So there's that. There's that. Here's the times. Somebody wants to buy this horse. I mean, you see the times right here. This horse is going to be a heck of a horse for the eliminator. Just send me an offer for $15 and it's yours, right? And it can breed too. So what you want to also do is you want to know. Now, I enter horses, right? Whether they're turf or dirt in the eliminator. I check this, but it's not really. So, fast, good, mud. Mud. So, I'm going to tell you right now, this horse is okay. It's just barely okay for the mud and stuff. So, I don't have to worry about that. Under 0.20 is what I'm looking for. Anything over 0.20, you know when it comes to that mud race in the eliminator, you're going to have problems. Okay, so now that we've done that, remember, if you want this horse, just send me a $15 offer. First person that sends the offer gets this horse. It's unnamed 841. Okay, so now that we went through that, how I do that and everything, how would I find a race for this horse? Well, first of all, I would run it in the eliminator, right? And see how it races and see how it does. If it wins an eliminator race, I'm going straight to division because your maiden race will be won already. So I'm going to go to division racing after that, right? And depending on what it does, well, not just division racing. Like, I could go to a big show. Well, no, I won't need to do that. I could go to division or, I wouldn't do claimer, but I'd do like division or maybe a special race that you can enter. So that's what I would do, like D division. I don't do E division and F and G and all that stuff. either D or C division. That's what I would do. I would enter this horse in the division race. Depending on what it does, would make my decision whether to move to stakes racing or not. And I would also test it at all three of these distances because it might be a killer at 1 mile or a killer at 7 or a killer at mile and 8. You don't know. But one of these is going to be better than the other. That's 100% sure. So that's how you do that. Okay, now I think I've showed you everything there. Now you know what's up. That's how I do it. There's a lot of secrets there. Let me show you what some other stuff here. So every day I go in here, okay? I look every day. This is tomorrow's races. Every day I do this. Every night, not every day. Every night I do this. This is tomorrow's races. I want to know the gate position, and I want to know the jockey that's on this horse. I know that this is fine, and I know that that's fine, right? All I'm looking for is the 1 hole and the jockey here, pretty much, right? So, see you later, 7 furlongs. I need to check this because it's the 1 hole, right? I need to see so 6 furlongs this horse was rolling, right? So I'm going to tell you right now, this horse is probably going to be stalk at 7 furlongs or steady run. Now, I know this horse just... See, this is from the 8 hole. He couldn't clear, right? This is from the 1 hole. So, like I said, this horse goes on steady run. I need to make sure it's on steady run in this race. So I need to make sure. Okay, see? So I can tell you what would happen. This horse would die out at the end and get beat. So I need to change that to steady run. Right? That horse would die out at the end and get beat. That's why it's a steady run now. So that's what I'm looking for. The 1 hole and the jockey. Right? So like her agenda. It's got the 1 hole. I mean, this is crazy. Alright, so her agenda's got the 1 hole, 7 furlongs. So I look at the races that it's already raced in. And it looks like 6 furlongs push. It can't do nothing. So it's definitely not push. I'll look at this here. I don't think it's stalk either. So this horse is going to be steady run also. So I'm moving this horse back to steady run. Her agenda. Right? Okay, good. It's on steady run. Alright, so I don't have to worry about that. Alright, now I saw another 1 hole. Right? Tremendous Rex. Who's... this horse is crazy good. If anybody wants to buy these horses, all you gotta do is send. I'll tell you how much. This horse is 6 for 7. I mean, this horse is a nasty horse. Broke track records and stuff. Look at this. All right, so 7 furlongs. So this is going to be the shortest race this horse has ever had. So I'm going to assume this is going to be pushed no matter how you spin it. Yeah, this is going to be pushed no matter how you spin it. And he might not win this. Because that's way too high for 7 furlongs. I probably shouldn't have put this horse in this race. Yeah, I probably should not have put this horse in this race. Matter of fact, I'm like 100% sure I shouldn't have put this horse in this race. Yeah, I'm pulling him because he shouldn't be in this race. I mean, he's 2-1, but maybe I won't pull them. All right, I'm not going to pull them. If you want to buy any of these horses, let me know. Tremendous Rex, I will sell. Now, this horse is nasty, okay? I mean, when I say nasty, I mean nasty. Look at these. I mean, that's a 115 race rating, and this horse just crushed. Foggy Memorial. I mean, this horse is nasty. I will sell 6 for 7, dude. I'd sell this horse for. It's already made over $1,000. Somebody said to be an offer for 150, they could have this horse, and it's going to make you 150 in like 4 or 5 races easily. So, I mean, this horse is won the Fountain of Youth. This horse is nasty. 150 for this horse. It's a nasty horse. So, okay, back to what we're doing. Now you know what's up. I've tried to see that I went through everything here. You know how I breed. You know how I race. As far as instructions go, sometimes when you watch a race, your horse might need, you might think it's stock or whatever, because I'm just thinking Tremendous Rex almost has more money than Eat My Dust. That's crazy. That horse is worth way more than $150. All right, so if you want it, guys, Tremendous Rex, make the offer. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to do this business with reconditioning and sports cards and Pokemon cards and stuff. And I work most days 7 a.m. to 5:30, 6 o'clock. So I have like no time anymore. Not like this takes a whole lot of my time. But you see right now, I mean, I only had 3 horses racing, checking the racers and all this stuff, preparing for the breeding, all that stuff. I just don't have 2 hours or whatever to spend on it every day or every other day. That's why I'm just wrapping this up now. So that's pretty much what I want to say. If you listen to everything I said, you'll know how to manage your stable. I'll go through that, and this is very important, so please pay attention. Sometimes these best works don't tell you stalk, relax. It tells you a different story. Like, you might want to try close here. See how this is steady running? That's relax. See how it jumps? You might want to try close here. You know what I mean? And other than that, that's pretty much what I have to say to you guys. I'm pretty sure I let you in on the way I race, the way I breed, the way I train, the way I select things, the way I do things, ads and equipment. If it takes away, I know that I had a lot of problems with like neutral. You know how it says it'll make a neutral effect on a horse. So what you need to do first and foremost when it says that, because this is the biggest problem I had. It took me forever to understand ads and equipment for some reason. So when it says like neutral, right? Okay, so we know anything that lowers during training, any ad or equipment that lowers during training, to use, right? And if it says negative, don't use it. I don't care what anybody says, don't use it, right? So if it doesn't do anything and it's like shadow roll, it doesn't change your numbers, don't leave it on, and then if you see how it races, take it off if you want. When it says neutral effect here, remember, this horse might be, this horse might be a router, right? It's not, but it could be, right? So this butte might not kick in until like a mile and a quarter. Sometimes I see it kick in a mile and 3/8. You need to check that. Like, you need to do this, not for 6 furlongs, but like if this said neutral effect, you need to start at like 7 furlongs a mile, do it with butte and without butte, and see if it changes the numbers. You always want the lower numbers, and you're going to have to train it like 3 times, not just once, okay? Like train, reset, train, then put butte on, train, reset, train. Same for any of these. Lasix, anything that says neutral effect, that's what you're going to want to do, right? Because it might take effect at a different distance, okay? And you need to put that in these notes. Like, you need to be aware that butte goes on here, okay? So if it's like 7 furlongs, the butte making it go up, then you want to make notes here. Butte on at a mile, you know what I mean? So that's also another thing that you need to understand. I'm trying to cover everything because this is probably the last video I'm going to be making for a long time. So everything's everything. You know how I'm doing it. You know how I train. The other stable management is very important. So let's just go over that real fast. Okay, guys, I start with like over 100 horses, right? And through the season, I'll pull them. Most horses get 3 races or more, depending on how much I have to play with depending on how much I have to play with the ads and equipment, right? So let's go to 3-year-old racers. All right. So, like, at some point in the season, these horses raced, but they haven't raced in a long time, right? Because, actually, it's not them. It's these. All right. So these are the horses. It's 14 of them. So these horses raced, right? And there's nothing wrong with these horses. But for some reason, I didn't like what I saw. And this is what I didn't like. So if I race a horse, right, 8 times, and I know it's 4 for 8, and I know it's $168, but when any horse gets in the negative, right, after that many races, it's done. Okay? I'm not racing it no more. I do not play with horses to put me in the negative. Okay? So in all honesty, see, it did fine here. I probably should have stopped. When I see this 7 furlongs right here, right, and then this, and then a mile and 1/8, and then this, and then that, and then that, that's why I stopped. Because obviously it's not a graded stakes horse. It came in second in a grade 2. Yeah, that's fantastic. I'm fine. It can't compete in a grade 1, and it lost. Once a horse starts losing you money after like 5 races, you do not want to continue racing it because it's just eating away at your other horses' successes, right? So, when you have a horse, when you're a stable that has a horse or multiple horses, right, that are like this, right, that make $1,000, this horse literally pays. I know you guys are like, oh my God, that's a lot of money. Once you get a horse like this, and you will, this horse literally pays for most of your other horses racing, okay? I mean, it doesn't win all the time, but when it wins, it pays for your whole stable to race. And that's the point, I mean, no matter how you spin this horse has paid for most of my horses to race sits here. I mean, that's like 3 stakes. I could enter 3 horses in stakes races and this horse for $88. I mean, you see how what I'm saying here? This horse pays for other horses to enter stakes races or whatever, right? So that's how you want to manage your stable. You want to keep the horses, and they don't have to be graded stakes winners to win money. You know, they can be regular horses too. As long as they do not go in the positive, you keep it racing. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing special about these horses, but you know what? They shouldn't be in the negative. Let's see, is Trilly Tot in the negative? Nah. Her profit is 106. She's not in the negative. You know, she's still racing. So I'm gonna keep racing her, right? So that's pretty much it, man. I'm gonna miss you guys. I'm gonna miss everybody. It's been a fantastic time at Digital Downs, and I'll be back after this season. Once I learn how to do card restoration and stuff, I'll be back. It's like anything else. Even like when I started this, it took me months and months to figure this stuff out, man. The ads, equipment, the racing. I mean, you name it. It took me a long time, man. So, you know, with the card restoration, it's going to take me a long time also. I'm going to miss racing and stuff, but, you know, it is what it is. Like I said before, you're not going to find an opportunity. There's no horses I will not sell. And this is the opportunity for anybody to get super horses that normally no one would sell. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much all I got to say. I'll be back in the season. Other than that, if you want any horses, you know, or anything, or breeders, I'm here. And I'll sell you horses anytime, you know. Just let me know what you're looking for, and I'll see what I'm sure I probably will have it. And if you want to buy horses even during the season, that's fine. You know, I might do horse sales during the season, but as far as like racing and stuff goes, I'm going to be taking breeding and all that. I'm going to be taking a step back. So, thank you guys. Have a wonderful day, and Dutton is out.